Hello, this is in front of Seoul Forest subway station. I'm going to look around Seoul Forest and its surroundings. First, if you look to the right, you can see a tall building right in front of you. That building is the SM Entertainment Building. It's one of the representative K-pop entertainment agencies in Korea. The K-pop music genre is a combination of Japanese idol culture, Japanese visual rock, American hip-hop culture, and Korean gayo, and it has established itself as a new content. Flashy dances, rhythmic dance music in Korean style, eye-catching music videos, and artists with doll-like appearances. All of these combined can be seen as the characteristics of K-pop. Among them, SM Entertainment is a company that had a huge influence on the establishment of the K-pop genre. They directly fostered artists who gained great popularity, mainly in Japan, China, and Southeast Asia, such as TVXQ, Super Junior, SHINee, Baoe, and Aespa. The company, which started in a small office in 1989, is now a giant corporation that owns a high-rise building. This street I'm walking on is Understand Avenue. You can see buildings made of containers around here. Most of the buildings here are exhibition spaces, restaurants, and pop-up stores. The buildings are made of cheap containers on purpose to provide low rents to merchants. Sometimes, on K-pop artists' birthdays, the entire street is filled with photos of the artists. Fans collect money to decorate the entire street. And fans come to the space and have a party together. It's one of the fan cultures in Korea. Usually, when people get off at the subway station to go to Seoul Forest, most of them pass by here, because the park is just 1 block away. If you just cross the road ahead, you will arrive at Seoul Forest. Seoul Forest used to be a racecourse and sports park before it was built. However, when the racecourse was relocated to the southern part of Seoul, they were thinking about how to utilize the land, and they developed it into a large park by benchmarking London's Hyde Park and New York's Central Park. However, it is not that large, being only about 30% of Hyde Park's area. It is enough to walk around. I visited around 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, which is when it is most crowded. There are many people here even on weekdays, but there are more on weekends. I have been to London's Hyde Park. I remember being shocked by the thick trees that were hundreds of years old and the many animals coexisting with humans. However, this place is not a place with such an ecological environment. The park has only been built 20 years ago, so it has a short history. However, it is one of the few places in Seoul where you can lay down a mat and rest under the shade of the trees. There aren't many parks in Seoul where you can coexist with nature like this. Furthermore, there are even fewer places to rest under trees. There is a park along the Han River, but it feels artificial. It's hard to find shade. That's why this place is always visited by Seoul citizens. If you look to the left, you will see statues of 6 horses. These statues were erected to leave traces of the past when this place was a racecourse. The place where the kids are playing in front is the fountain. It's a place where the fountain shoots up from the floor, and it's a place that kids love. It's really famous as a place for kids to play in the water. Since the fountain isn't on yet, it looks like a regular chessboard. I'll have to check it out again later when the fountain is on. This is called the lunchbox garden. If you look in front, there are tables. Anyone can sit on a chair and eat the food they brought. There is a large lawn in front. Today is a hot summer day, so people do not go out into the sun. But in spring and fall, people also sit on the grass on mats. Seoul is hot and humid in the summer, so you sweat just standing still. It feels like you are in a sauna greenhouse. Of course, it is not as bad as the heat in Southeast Asia, But it is the summer weather in Seoul that Europeans and Arabs have a hard time adjusting to. People from Southeast Asia adapt very easily. If you look at the grass on the right, you can see some dirt here and there. It's because people walk around here a lot, but in fact it's very difficult for grass to grow well in Korea. The winter weather in Korea goes down to -15 degrees, so the grass withers and dies, and the variety is different from the ones in the West. It's cold resistant and the grass is tough. It's completely different from the grass you step on when playing soccer in the West. The grass is so tough that it's like stepping on artificial grass. If you look at the front, you can see a single tree planted on a wide lawn. That tree is also the symbol of this park. Many people take pictures in front of the tree to leave a memory of their visit to this park. This is because you can take pretty pictures with the tall, high-rise buildings and beautifully planted trees in the background. When I came here before, I wondered why that tree was planted alone. But when I saw many people taking pictures in front of it and posting them on SNS, I realized that it was an intentional design. If you look to the right, you can see the coolest part of this place. There is a birthday cake-shaped sculpture in front. It seems to have been erected to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the park's creation. The mayor of Seoul at the time who promoted the construction of this park was a politician who promoted the restoration of Cheonggyecheon, a famous tourist attraction in Seoul. Cheonggyecheon and this place have become the most visited places by Seoul citizens. In 2024, the Seoul Metropolitan Government conducted a survey of park users. It was confirmed that Seoul Forest was the park with the most visitors among the parks in Seoul. I am walking around the lake in the park. It is said that this place was used as a hunting ground for the king in the Middle Ages. In that respect, it has similar characteristics to Hyde Park in London. It was also used as a hunting ground for the king, and then the park was open to the public. If you walk along this road, you will come across a deer habitat. When the park was built, deer were also released. However, it is not in a way that visitors can easily approach the deer. It is fenced, so it is similar to a zoo. I found this out after taking the video. If you look to the right, you will see the community center building. There are experiential programs related to the park. Anyone can participate for free. I turn around and look around the other part of the park. If you look to the right, there is a yellow bench. The name of that bench is BTS J-Hope Bench. BTS fans collected money to put up the bench to celebrate J-Hope's military discharge. It has a special meaning. And next to it is a W-shaped bench. It's called the Winter Bench. Fans place the bench here to celebrate the birthday of K-pop artist Espa member Winter. It seems like this park is becoming a space that K-pop fans are decorating together. I think it's a good culture. I came back to the grassy area I had been to earlier. There are 4 high-rise buildings behind the park. Those buildings are ultra-luxury residential apartments. This is where the super rich and celebrities in Korea live. It is a place that is naturally expensive because it is close to the park right in front and the Han River. It is famous as the place where K-pop artist G-Dragon lives.
소리쳐 부르지 마. 한 번 더 할 때는요, 내 옆에 있는 사랑하는 사람들 바라보면서 여러분들 목소리로만 다 같이 난 너를 사랑해. 이 세상은 너뿐이야. 소리쳐 부르지 마. 저 내려보
Water is gushing from the fountain I saw when I first arrived at the park. The kids are having fun playing in the water. After I finished looking around Seoul Forest Park, I decided to look around the cafe street next to the park. If you look up ahead, there was a tricycle rental shop here. People rented the bikes here and went around the park. This cafe street is located north of Seoul Forest. Just a few years ago, this place wasn't a commercial area. Now it has become a famous place where many people visit after visiting the park. This is my first time visiting here. The red brick houses are beautiful. It looks like they were built with bricks on purpose to create a streetscape.
망했네?
어서오세요. 네, 평가에 방금 나왔습니다.
This is the end of my Seoul Forest tour video. Thank you for watching.